Warning! This podcast contains spoilers.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the As Seen on TV podcast for The Flash, Season 1, Episode 10, Revenge of the Rogues. I am your host, Clio, and with me I have Dom.
What's going on?
I'm sorry, I mean to say I'm the Flash, guys.
Oh, you're the Flash. You just
Flash.
revealed your secret identity.
I did. Again! Second time!
How many nights are you going to reveal... How many times in one night are you going to reveal your secret identity? Your multiple
there was
secret
that
identities.
one time I kept switching masks.
That's true.
That was fun. Different universe, though. Has no bearing on this.
That's true. That's true.
So we start off this episode, and Barry's fighting a drone.
That was the most comical scene.
Yeah,
ever.
it was really odd, too, because it was just this giant drone with missiles, and apparently they were shooting real bullets at Barry, and I was like, what?
I love when he's like, when are you going to make this a challenge or whatever, Cisco? Crank it up. And then, like, Cisco looks over at Dr. Wells for approval, and he's like, yeah, go for it. And as soon as that happens, Barry's down.
Yeah. He shoots a fucking missile at him.
Minor technicalities. He's the second fastest man alive.
I don't know. I thought, like, they would at least use rubber bullets or something. But no, live ammunition.
Yeah.
Out of a drone.
Actually, now that I mention it, he's the second fastest man alive. I like that little change to the intro. Usually he goes, I'm Barry Allen, I'm the fastest man alive.
Oh.
And in the intro this week, he's like, I'm the second fastest man alive. That title goes to my arch nemesis or whatever, however he worded it.
Yeah. I didn't notice. I think I was, like, walking around while the intro was going. But yeah. Wells almost gets out of his chair. Because, I mean, now we know. Well, we've known for a while he's not really crippled, and we know
right.
he's
They don't know.
Speedster. No, they don't know. Everybody. Nobody is fooled. The only one who was close to being on his scent was Ollie, but Ollie didn't stick around long enough to...
If Ollie was there, like, one more day, I think he would have figured it out.
One more hour without having to deal with a crisis, I think he would have been like, I'm not too right about that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know that he's not actually crippled.
Ollie would have been like, how did you change your pants so fast?
Yeah. But he almost gets out of his chair to save Barry. Would he have really blown his cover?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Extremely. They would have been second-guessing everything at that point. I mean, this is what they've known about this guy. This is his closest colleagues and his closest friends. Like, Barry actually called him his friend this episode. Yeah. And for him to shatter that reality to them, that's mistrusting. And they will not look at him the same afterwards.
Oh, of course not.
Like, why would you keep this from us?
But he was really... Like, he was about to blow his cover to save Barry's life.
Yeah.
Not that his life was really that much in danger. What's a little explosion to a superhuman mute? No. What do they call it?
Metahuman?
Metahuman. There we go. Metahuman.
You're welcome.
What's a little explosion? Yeah, I thought Cisco would be more upset when Barry blew up his drone.
Yeah, he didn't.
He was just sort of like. Oh.
He was just like dumbfounded for a second, and he's like,
Yeah, Cisco usually gets upset when his stuff gets destroyed.
Yeah.
Like with the suit, he's like, "What happened to my suit?" That was a couple episodes ago or something.
Yeah.
And we finally get to see Captain Cold's new partner.
Heatwave.
Heatwave. I love because Cisco said Heatwave, and Wells just turns in and is like, "Don't, just don't, stop, just stop."
Loved it. That was my favorite scene. Honestly, it was. It was. I really enjoyed that opening scene with the missile, you know, and all that.
Yeah.
But I think the my favorite scene, hands down, was just the Cisco nicknames. They're always they hold a special place in my heart because they're so bad.
Always the best. And sometimes you go through like a couple of them till he gets the right one.
Yeah.
But yeah, all of this like Star Labs team banter this episode was really good.
Yeah, it's always been really good from the very beginning of the show. I really don't have very much to nitpick about this show, and that's rather surprising for a new show.
Yeah.
You know?
Even some old shows we have a lot to nitpick about.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I feel like since the beginning, this like the Star Labs guys, Team Flash, have their like relationships have been growing, and Cisco and Wells have like their little banter, and like nods they give each other, and then Barry and Caitlin had like some heart-to-hearts. Barry's like, I told Iris how I felt. And she's like, ooh, that go.
Yeah.
And then he helped her out with some Ronnie stuff.
I mean, if there's anything to really gripe on, I think it's how Barry and Iris is treating the situation. But then at the same time, I've seen this countless times. You know, not me personally, but, you know, I've seen a lot of my friends go through this kind of thing where it's just like, yeah, just, you know, I've never gave the advice, tell her how you feel, because I know how that goes. It never goes well. So,
well, the problem is telling them how you feel too late is usually the problem.
Yeah, I get it.
Sometimes if it's out of the way early enough, you can be like, ah, ha, ha, we'll laugh about this later.
Yeah.
It also depends.
It even seems then it's always one-sided. I've never seen this be the case where it's both-sided. Because if it's two-sided, it's gonna work itself out. You don't need to say anything. It's gonna happen.
Or I don't know. It's always different. Depends.
I guess. I don't know.
But this is a show.
No, I know that.
And they're gonna get married and have babies.
No, they're not.
I know.
I don't even
actually
know the DC comic lore very well. Like, so I don't know if Barry ends up with her, but I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no.
It's possible they never end up together.
Yeah.
That's fine. This train will keep her rolling without them. But yeah, Heatwave. What did we think about the Prison Break brothers?
It was very interesting. I mean, they busted right into some exotic car. What was it?
Yeah. Fancy ass cars.
Yeah, right off the bat, and they're like, these things are worth a fortune. How are the two of us going to drive these all out? Oh, we're not. What?
We're going to wait around for the Flash.
They're very polar opposite of each other. One wants the long game, one wants the short game.
Hot and cold.
Oh, I see what you did there.
See what the entire show did there. The fucking painting that they stole
Ice.
was literally fire and ice.
I see what you did there. You're on fire, Cleo.
But yeah, no, it's like their differences are glaring.
One wants the short game. They want, everything, whatever they can grab and take, intangible, pay off, get the money now. And one is looking at the long game. How can we make this work in our favor forever,
Yeah. Well, Cold brings his Mick Rory is Heatwave. Cold brings Mick around to playing the long game. And he ends up burning the $25 million painting. And I was just like, you could have sold that, though.
Yeah. Probably wasn't the smartest move.
No. But then again, he is hot-headed and... He is, though. And I mean, Cold literally says that to the police. He's like, it's a bit of a hothead.
Yeah. I don't know. His brother kind of gave him the cold shoulder.
I don't think they're brothers. They're not brothers.
They're more or less.
Yeah. They're not brothers in this show, but the actors are the actors who played the brothers on Prison Break. So.
Right.
And I never liked Prison Break, but I always liked the two of them. So to see them in something that I like, working as a team, makes me happy because
yeah,
I really like them.
I mean, I've never actually watched Prison Break, so I don't.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan.
I'm not big into the reality kind of like not reality show as in reality shows, but like
Grounded in reality shows.
based shows. I like the supernatural kind of fantasy elements to them.
Mm-hmm.
So if it doesn't have that, I typically don't watch it.
Except for Pretty Little Liars, unless there are supernatural things in Pretty Little Liars. I wouldn't know.
To a degree, there are.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, on a very interesting kind of level. It wasn't until a little bit later, but yeah. Anyway.
Interesting. That's a completely another tangents. Yeah, but I really thought that they were derailing this train. I really liked Cold and Heatwave. Man, they were just so good.
I know, just seeing them just gave me this warm, fuzzy feeling inside.
And we're like seeing Captain Cold, more and more of Captain Cold's character, and just the way he speaks is amazing.
I know, it gives me the chills.
Oh, yeah, puns. Good.
Me and Cisco would get along really well.
Oh my god. Like best friends.
Best friends. Like fire and ice.
Anyway. So in order to fight Captain Cold, since they didn't expect him to be back so soon, Cisco does a demonstration at the police station.
Mm-hmm.
Like the super cool
armor,
riot shields.
Yeah, the coating, whatever, on the shield. That was actually really cool.
Oh, yeah.
And it came in handy, too. Like, who would have thought Eddie would have ended up putting himself in harm's way, at the end there. It was just, just really bold move of him.
Ballsy, but it worked. But yeah, I thought it was interesting seeing how the Force treated them at first and then at the end. Because at first they were like, "Oh, you blew up the city, harp, harp, harp." Cisco handled it really well, though. He was like, "No, you can't trust us, but look at this awesome thing we made."
Yeah.
And suck it.
Yeah, definitely suck it.
But yeah, I think they really came around. I think they're going to start trusting the S.T.A.R. Labs team a little more now that their things have worked for them. Because I think the precinct was definitely blaming them for all the metahumans they've had to deal with.
Yeah. I mean, Joe understands what they are. Eddie still does not. Eddie's still living in reality. He doesn't.
Eddie knows about them.
He knows because he's seen the Flash in action, so he knows that personally. But outside of that, I don't know how much of the other ones he believes that this is a world in which they're living in. Because like you have Heatwave and Captain Cold here, and they're using like guns. They don't have these abilities themselves,
But the one he saw was Barry's high school friend. I'm sorry, bully. Barry's high school bully was the one he saw. He turned to metal or something. And I think that was when Joe had to be like, "Hey, so there are these people who can do these things. Just don't tell anybody."
Yeah.
But, yeah. I mean, now everyone knows. Now everyone knows the Flash is a thing because Cold forced him out in the open.
Yeah, that was like the pinnacle of this episode, and you didn't really realize it. Like, you knew that was kind of his game, but you didn't realize it was like his big game. Like, you knew it was just like a small part of his plan, but you didn't realize that was basically the entire plan.
Yeah, that was like step one of the plan. Like, this plan, I bet, is going to go on a long time. Because, like you said, Cold is in it for the long haul. He's playing the long con.
He sure is, and then like we even see that at the final like scene of the episode, and it's just like, wait, he knew that the Flash was gonna beat him? Like,
Yeah.
He got caught intentionally?
Yeah,
Like,
Heatwave was really mad about that.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah. I mean, once they're sitting in the police car and they were talking before things happened, I put 2 and 2 together and got 5, but, you know.
Which is mathematically sound.
I mean, go Google it right now. 2 plus 2 equals 5. There's actually an equation that proves that 2 plus 2 does, in fact, equal 5.
Isn't it can? It's not always, but can equal 5.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is correct.
It is, yeah. Anyway. But yeah, let's talk about that next. So his sister busts up the police van. Now, I don't know if you know anything. I didn't. I had to look this up.
No, I do not know.
His sister is Lisa Snart, who is the Golden Glider.
Interesting.
Yeah. And I didn't read much about her. I don't know what her powers are. I don't remember her from the comics, but apparently there are universes where she gets killed off, which is probably the universes I'm familiar with, or ones where she's already dead. But my dad said that he thought that she was a good guy, but maybe he's wrong, because I don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah, I mean, if she's working with them, then I can't see her being a good guy.
Yeah.
So
she's played by Peyton List. I don't know who that is.
Does not sound familiar. Yeah. I will look her up.
She's in Tomorrow People, and then Mad Men, whatever. She's been in some stuff. So, yeah. I'm really excited to see more of Captain Cold's long game.
I am too. It's actually turning out to be, like, I mean, since the first time we saw him, yeah, he was a formidable foe or whatever, but I didn't really know he was so meticulous as he is in this one, and it almost seemed like the clock guy would have been a good ally for them, because he seemed like really down to the point here, and he seems like he would be a good member of the team. I don't remember what the fate of him was. Did he die, or did they capture him? Or
no, I thought they arrested him again.
Okay.
I'm sure they arrested him again.
Okay, so there is a chance that we will see him again, and if he ends up leading the Rogues, that would be incredible.
Oh yeah. But I think Cold is going to hold on to that leadership position. But I think part of his long game is to get some of the other, bad guys involved. Like, who have we had? The weather guy, and then I'm drawing blanks on all the names of everybody we fought so far. But just to get them all and have like a bigger bad guy team is, I think, his is part of his long game.
Yeah. So the actress that you just mentioned, Peyton List, who's going to be playing the Golden Glider. She was actually Lucy Lane in Smallville. That's where I knew her from. She played Lois Lane's younger sister. So I don't know her from any of the other things she's been involved in.
Yeah, so. I don't remember her from Mad Men.
Yeah, apparently she's been on One Tree Hill. I know that was pretty popular. She was on Monk.
I watched Monk. Monk was long. I don't think I watched the whole thing.
Yeah.
Anyway.
She was also Blonde Girl #1 in Sex and the City.
I totally remember her from that.
Blonde Girl #1, yeah.
I got you there. Oh man, yeah. When Captain Cold grabs Caitlin, he sends out like this broadcast, and I got I got flashbacks of
flashbacks. I see what you did there.
Of the Joker from the animated series.
Yes.
Batman. I was like,
yes.
He did this all the time.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. They like hijacked the TV studio or something. We don't exactly know how they broadcast, because
nowadays you just have to hack a signal, or I guess.
Nowadays, if that was the case, you'd see that a lot more. Maybe nowadays in TV fantasy land, but yeah.
Exactly. Nowadays in the DCU, you can just hack your local TV station. Yeah, that's right. They don't really go into how he did that. It just sort of showed up at the precinct. I don't know if it was broadcast wider than that, but I guess enough for Barry to feel like, yeah, I have to come out No. Especially since it was Caitlyn, and he would have done anything for her.
That is true. That is true. I mean, I'm glad that it wasn't Iris again.
Yeah.
You know, I like seeing the rest of the team being put in harm's way. We know if Wells is put in harm's way that it's probably part of Wells's plan, and we're not really that concerned.
Yeah.
You know, but Cisco and Caitlyn, I think I can't see the show without them, so I don't want to say that they're in danger of being in actual peril, but yeah.
But Caitlyn Cold is based on Killer Frost, which is she's normally a villain in the DCU, so I can see something happening where Caitlyn turns dark or whatever, and she's still around in the show, but she's not part of Team Flash. So I see that maybe not now, but if this show runs long, which I think it will because it's really well done.
Yeah.
That we could see that some seasons down the line.
Yeah, I could see it too.
And let's just say, thank God for Joe, because if Joe wasn't there, Cisco would have blown them up.
He most definitely would have. 100%. Yeah, I don't...
Yeah, and it's in those scenes we see how, like, fucked up Heatwave is. Like, he is in love with the fire. He thinks it's the most beautiful thing in the world.
Fire is one of those magical things. I get captivated. I guess I'm a pyro at heart, but... Like,
I mean, yeah.
I could go to a bonfire and just sit there and watch the thing burn and just, like... Not that I'm trying to, like, set things on fire or anything, but, like, I'll throw things into the fire and just watch how the fire destroys it. It's just, it's really captivating.
He really likes setting things on fire, and himself, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it was funny, because I was like, they said, yeah, he's got, like, third-degree burns over 50% of his body. I'm like, really? Where? And it's just, like, these weird patches on his arms. It's like, yeah, that's 50% of his body.
I mean, for all we know, it could be lower, you know?
No, that's true. But it's like, when they said it was before we saw him with a sleeveless shirt, so it was like, I didn't see any. It just miraculously missed his head and not his arms, you know? As fire does.
Fire's unpredictable.
That is true.
You could call it. You could call him a bit of a wildfire.
Yeah. Says a lot for Heatwave because he is unpredictable.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, when I
guess that's kind of a balance too, because fire is very unpredictable.
Mm-hmm.
But cold is very constant. It's it's meticulous almost. Which really further kind of goes into their personality traits.
Definitely. And so wait, and I forgot this because Captain Cold got his gun from a dealer who had stolen it.
He's stealing it. He's stealing it.
Stolen it. We can assume that Wells gave it to the guy, but stole it from S.T.A.R Labs.
He stole it good.
Stole it good. That same dealer had the heat gun.
Mm-hmm.
Was that also stolen from S.T.A.R Labs, or was that something else?
I think it was something else. Like, we never saw it at S.T.A.R Labs. There's been no mention of it. And we saw Cisco dissecting it this episode. He had a diagram, and he said that that's how he got the name Heatwave out of it, because he was kind of figuring out how it operated. So it's definitely nothing Cisco's been involved with beforehand. So if it was part of S.T.A.R Labs, Cisco didn't have anything to do with it, at least.
Yeah, and Wells did seem a little surprised that there was a heat gun.
Yeah.
So I guess the question is, where'd it come from? Because the cold gun was deliberately Wells getting it, Wells.
It was clearly taken from Starling City.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
You sure? Are you being sarcastic?
I have no clue.
That would be another awesome Flash Arrow crossover.
It would be a good crossover, but it would have to be done in Arrow's classic flashbacks to see how it happened, because obviously you are unaware of it happening thus far, so it would
Yeah,
have to
no,
have been
I
dealt with
don't
in a flashback.
recall like a heat gun in Arrow.
Yeah.
Unless I'm wrong. I mean, I'll admit, there are some episodes of Arrow that I missed and just never went back because, it was just explained in the next episode. Because the previous seasons of Arrow have not been as strong as this current season, so...
Yeah, I can understand that. Like I said, I started watching Arrow. I'm still only, like, 6 episodes deep. I have not made any progression on it, but hopefully this summer when all these TV shows are on break, I know better than try to start it in the winter. It doesn't work for me. So summer's usually my time to catch up on shows I'm behind on. So
reruns.
Yep. So Arrow it will probably happen.
But yeah, so I think it could just be that this gun came from that guy and that's the end of the story, or there might be something more to it. I don't know. But they just so happen to be exact opposites.
Or wait. What if that company that
Mercury Labs?
No. The one that Caitlin's boyfriend muttered out the acronym.
Firestorm?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think Firestorm was a company. I think Firestorm's a project. I think it's
right. So what if it had to do with Firestorm though?
Oh my goodness, it might. Yeah.
Could very well do, because
we'll come back to that.
Do you know? Do you have the acronym? What it actually stood for? Do you remember?
I can look it up.
I'm putting you on the spot here. You keep talking. I'll look it up.
Okay. So what did I want to say before? Oh yeah, the two guns just so happen to be exact opposites. And if you cross the streams. I love the Ghostbuster reference.
The Ghostbusters reference was the best. See.
You mean like Ghostbusters? Ghostbusters is surprisingly scientifically accurate.
And I do know that they spent a lot of time in the science behind Ghostbusters when Aykroyd was originally writing the script for it.
Yeah. I like that line. It's surprisingly scientifically accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just so happened to be and across the streams, and they went pshoo! Sort of like it was more like each gun shut down the other. Like they just stopped working because they were being fired at each other.
Yeah, it was actually pretty cool the way that happened. It's like because you have the Flash who's trying to be fast, right? This whole episode deals with him trying to be faster than the fastest man alive, which he no longer has that title. Yeah. And he's doing this, he's putting off like helping other people and stuff because he's trying to be faster, he's trying to be better. And then he realizes fast is not always the best way to go. Let me go slower, let them actually hit me because my body can take it for a little bit, I can regenerate, whatever. So he goes slower to intentionally get caught, gets in position, and then bolts out of there.
Yeah.
So that was really clever.
Oh yeah, and I think Cold was definitely surprised by that. He didn't expect that from Barry.
Yep.
So I think he was a little impressed. And now that he's seen, more of Barry in action, I think he's gonna know how to better deal with him next time. Next time the rogues come up against him.
Yep. I actually can't find what the Flash acronym stood, or the
Firestorm
acronym.
Yeah, it was something really
really long,
it was long,
and obscure.
Complex, and I'm like, someone said, someone really wanted, just like S.H.I.E.L.D., someone really wanted the letters to spell out Firestorm.
Yeah. It
yeah.
It's kind of it seemed like I don't know what's, like you said, it was done intentionally. Like it almost didn't make sense just to make it fit.
Yeah, because she's like, it's an acronym, and then she went on for another 30 seconds of what every letter was. Like, whoa, that's long. But yeah, Firestorm seems to be a project very vague and menacing. Some really sciencey thing that Barry, like, repeated, and it's like, I don't understand. So she goes and she finds the partner, the lab partner of the doctor who wrote the dissertation or whatever, the 800-page piece of shit. And
yeah, he read it in like 0.2 seconds.
Which I was shocked, because that is breaking from the speedster rules. Speedsters aren't generally supposed to be able to do that.
Speed reading, what are you talking about?
Yeah, no, they can't retain if in the comics, if any of the speedsters, with the exception of Impulse, reads at super speed, they cannot retain the information. Like, the reading comprehension is impossible to do at that speed. But anyway, that's something else.
I mean, it makes sense to me.
Yeah,
it does, because
they're changing the rules. It's no big deal.
They're changing the rules of the comic, but in essence, when you start thinking about it, if his body is going at super speed and he's able to do all these other actions at super speed, his mind should be able to work at super speed.
Yeah.
If his metabolism is running at super speed, like, his entire body should be functioning that way.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, it makes sense, but I was shocked, because in everything else I've read, that has not been the case. So, right. I finally get confirmation on that they have changed the rules. In fact, he can speed read. Super speed read.
Makes you think of what other menial tasks he can do.
Well, he packed up all of Iris's things in 3 seconds.
I mean, how long does it take him to take a crap?
Well,
some things you just don't want to know.
It depends on the shit. Depends on what he ate that day.
He eats a lot.
He does.
That's what worries me.
It is a near constant pooping. Anyway.
Realistically though, for the amount of food that he's eating, it should not be able to fit in his body. I understand he needs it for the metabolism, but there's not enough room in his body for all that food.
I don't know. Whatever.
Suspension of disbelief.
Yeah,
Waved.
exactly. Just don't think too hard. Everything will be fine. But Caitlin goes to meet the guy who helped write the Firestorm dissertation, and it turns out he is is he Jacob? It's something with a J. But anyway, I remember we talked about Firestorm in the comics, where Firestorm in the comics is actually two people that fuse and make the Firestorm that goes Firebrush.
Firebrush.
And there have been different iterations. There have been different people involved in Firestorm, but it's always two people. So in this show, we have 3 of the people who have participated in Firestorm: Ronnie, Jacob, and the Doctor.
Right.
Who was head of the dissertation that the military came in and confiscated all their files. So we have all 3 of them at play. And I was talking to my dad about this, and I think that after the accident, Ronnie got metahumaned, and then these 2 doctors took him and did experiments, and that's the Firestorm project.
Probably. Yeah, because that's probably why he's so messed up in the head.
Yeah, because it's not only his metahuman abilities, but it's whatever they tested him or whatever.
None of the other metahumans that we've come in contact with had any mental issues as side effects. So Ronnie's the first one we've seen, but that may, like you said, that's probably not a side effect of the particle accelerator.
Also, no one
was it
was
a particle accelerator or was it an atom collider? I don't even remember.
Particle accelerator.
Okay. Yeah.
Also, no one else was that close to the blast.
That's true too. He was basically in the core.
Yeah. But Wells
was pretty close though, wasn't he?
But Wells had full control over the situation.
Right.
Wells knew everything that was going to happen. Nothing was a surprise to him. he was probably protected or so. I don't know. I don't remember.
It's that's still I don't. We know that if Wells is the Reverse Flash right now.
Yes.
How long has he been the Reverse Flash? Does this go back to...
Especially if he is from the future.
But I don't think he is, because this goes to what Joe was mentioning. How this stuff had happened... What if it happened before? And he said that Wells had moved here just before Barry's mother died. So I think he may have replicated this on a much smaller scale in the past. He was the only one affected by it. That's how he got his powers. And he's been traveling since then. He may have gone to the future, but I don't think he's from the future.
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, especially since he was prepared to save Barry without his suit on, which means that his powers don't come from the suit, it comes from him.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I think even taking knowledge from the comics is not going to solve this, because they're clearly deviating.
They're pulling a Marvel on us. They're borrowing from the comic, but they're completely changing the story.
And that's perfect, and it's working perfectly.
I love it because it keeps us on our toes. It keeps us second guessing, because if we knew everything that was going to happen, then there's not much reason to watch.
Yeah, it keeps me yelling at my TV like, "What do you want, Wells? What do you want?"
I mean, I haven't read the comics or anything, but I'm going to tell you right now, I prefer this incarnation of Wells. I don't even think Wells is in the comic, is he?
I don't think so either. And, I mean, I've told you what I know from the comics, and I am just like... I'm still like, I don't know.
I love this character. So if Wells, in fact, was created specifically for this show, they did a good job with it.
Well, I have a suspicion that Wells... Because we said, when Wells opens up to Joe about his dead wife, or fiance, or whatever she was, I gave the theory that his name is... He stole the identity of Wells, and Dr. Wells had died that day with his wife.
That could be too, yeah. So
it's possible he is someone else with another name from the DCU that we're familiar with.
Could be
I don't know.
Eddie's distant relative, Eddie's son or something.
Yeah. I don't know. But I like it. I like that it's not cut and dry and it's not just copy paste. So.
Yeah, no, definitely.
It's gonna keep us guessing for a while.
Yep.
I don't think I had much else to say, but just that we have all three components to Firestorm, and that I think they're changing the way his powers work from the comics to this show. That's basically all I want to say. And I can't wait for more Ronnie, because Firestorm is really awesome.
Excellent. Yes. Yeah. Firestorm is cool. I really just want more Captain Cold and more Heatwave.
Oh my god, yes. Captain Cold is great, and so is
I really want the Clockman back, too.
They're crazy.
I really, really want the Clockman back. He was awesome.
Yeah. He may be back.
Yep.
Never say never. Next.
Okay, Justin Bieber.
I'm sorry?
I said, okay, Justin Bieber.
Can't stop, won't stop. The Sound and Fury.
It's Miley Cyrus.
I don't care.
Oh, baby.
The Sound and the Fury is next week's episode. Dr. Wells' former protege, Hartley, that's a dumb name, returns to seek vengeance on his mentor after being
affected by the
particle accelerator. Hey! Now able to manipulate sound waves, the brilliant Rathway. Rathaway? Is that his name?
Rathaway, yeah.
Hartley Rathaway.
Yeah, that's just a double awesome name right there.
He's a dangerous threat to both Wells and the Flash. Meanwhile, Iris is thrilled when she is hired by Central City Picture News. Is that Central City Picture News? That's dumb.
Yeah.
Dumb.
Yeah.
As their news club reporter, unfortunately, her editor pairs her with a veteran reporter, Mason Bridge, who wants nothing to do with her. Cisco recalls his first day on the job at S.T.A.R Labs, when he met Hartley and Caitlin. Oh, are we gonna have more Star Labs flashbacks? Because I really liked
Star Labs flashbacks.
I really liked when they did that for the particle accelerator.
Yeah.
Explosion. I like that. And Joe asks Eddie for a favor, but asks him to keep it a secret from Barry. What could he be asking for a favor?
Asks Eddie?
No.
Joe asks Eddie.
But I think the whole Iris thing is going to be annoying.
I'm already annoyed with the Iris, Barry, Eddie love triangle. It's like every show has a love triangle in it somewhere. It happens.
It does. It does.
Just ends up in,
tired, but you know,
I mean,
this is not the worst. It could be a lot worse.
It could. Everyone's
sort of acting like adults, more or less. You know, Barry's respecting them, and he just said how he felt. I don't know. I think it's not the worst.
No, it's not. It's not.
Not the worst thing.
I'm starting to dislike Iris. That's the problem. And it's because she's clearly conflicted. She doesn't know if she actually wants to move in with Eddie or not, but she's doing it because that's the right thing to do. And, you know, like, he's like, oh, you sure you don't have any doubt? And she's like, no.
Hang on, we should...
It's just...
Yeah, I mean...
She's just getting on my nerves a little bit. She's still... I like her as a character when she's happy and chipper, when her and Barry are interacting. Like, I love her. She's, you know, she's a great character. A little bit
of my dislike for her comes from the acting.
Mm-hmm. I don't think she's a bad actress. I
don't think so either, but I feel like she is weaker compared to some of the other people around her.
I could see that.
And,
I just ultimately think that things are going to go down with Eddie and Iris, and it's not going to be pleasant, and then Eddie's going to come back as supervillain Eddie of some sort, because he's not going to be Reverse Flash, but...
Well, I'm not sure he's really going to go bad.
He's going to go nuclear.
He could go very anti-Flash.
He could, yeah.
Like,
I mean, him and Flash are best buds
like Jay
after...
Jameson.
Yeah. Him and Flash are best buds, though, after, you know, this little run-in.
Because he saves him in the middle of the fight.
Thanks for saving my life.
Yeah.
You know?
But, yeah, I don't know. If anything goes bad between Iris and Eddie, it's going to be Iris's fault.
Yeah.
If it's purposefully or not, you know. Yeah. If she willfully just... I don't know. We're gonna see that in the future. So,
yep.
Dom, where can
people
find you?
You can find me down below at Phenomenon. PHENOMEDOM.
Phenomenon. You can find me at Clio Moto and all of us on ASOTV podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Gmail, MySpace, Time and Space.
Ooh.
And you know, follow us for more of your favorite your podcast from some of your favorite TV shows. I've been trying to get the outro down. I don't have it yet.
You got it. You nailed it. Nailed it.
So until next time.
Nailed it. You totally just gave me the chills again.
It's really heating up.
Your puns are on fire.
Chill out.